Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever and whenever you are joining us. Welcome to our latest edition of What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, I'm your host, the coach Nick Vesci, joined by the boy Stephen Vesci,
What up?
and not with us here now, but here in spirit is the man Stephen Comlow. He is enjoying his honeymoon
Enjoying many spirits.
many spirits on his honeymoon with his beautiful wife Tessa. We hope he'll be back sometime soon. Maybe he'll just
stay where
he'll
he
choose
is.
to stay.
The
'Cause
island life.
Yeah, seems a lot nicer than the power outages I've been suffering through here.
Just been drinking Carahelos or whatever they are. I don't know. Some sort of like Dominican Republic espresso martini.
Oh, so dysentery. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I know. You said there's ice in it. I was like, ooh.
Dysentery. Yep. Before we get into our top catch for the evening, just a reminder to follow us on all of our social media. That's on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at WCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Now, without further ado, we get into our top catch for the show. And this week we went with the very close college football finishes we had over the weekend, because some of them had some pretty big implications in terms of the playoff. So
It's because of the implication.
Thank you. I think you're not understanding. Are you going to hurt these women?
No one's in danger because of the implication.
You certainly wouldn't be in any danger.
So they are in danger. No, what are you not getting? None of it.
I'm not getting it.
Not getting it.
Now the implications, again, there were many of them. Going to start with the Georgia-Tennessee game. Might have had arguably the biggest implication, one way or the other, that or the Texas A&M Notre Dame game.
I think that one.
But after Tennessee missed a potential game-winning 43-yard field goal at the end of regulation, the Vols were unable to find the end zone in OT, which allowed Georgia's Josh McCray to plunge into the end zone, giving the Bulldogs a 44-41 win in Knoxville, extending that streak. I think that's now 9 years in a row that Georgia has beaten Tennessee, so that one had to hurt, especially with College Game Day being there in Knoxville as well. Elsewhere, Georgia Tech in Clemson. Georgia Tech QB Haynes King, who on this show we've been all over for the last 2 years. He completed 20 of 28 passes, for 211 yards, and he added 103 on the ground and a touchdown on 25 carries, no less.
I know.
Which
think
means
about how many.
I
want to know how many snaps. Like he was part of what 50 or 61.
No, it's 53.
53 total snaps.
It's 53 total.
53 total snaps. That's crazy.
Where he was, the one doing the action, right? That is pretty amazing. Tech kicker Aiden Burr, not to be confused with Aaron Burr, and I don't think they're related. He nailed a 55-yard field goal as time expired, which is tied for the longest field goal in program history, by the way. As the Yellow Jackets stunned Clemson 24-21 in Atlanta, Georgia Tech is now 7-1 versus ranked ACC opponents under Brent Key, which is an amazing stat. Look, we said the aforementioned Texas A&M and Notre Dame game. After a botched extra point on Notre Dame's go-ahead touchdown with less than 3 minutes to play, Texas A&M QB Marcel Reed connected with tight end Nate Borkircher for the 11-yard game-tying touchdown. It was his only catch of the game.
That was the guy from Sweden, I believe?
No. There's another guy who's got a two little dots over a letter in his name.
I don't
think it's this guy.
Yeah,
there's another one. Yes,
another gun. Okay.
It's like Grunlo, because that's a common name I've seen in Sweden, like Grunlo.
Yep.
Or Grunlau, something like that. But Borkircher, his only catch of the game with 13 seconds left, was the tying touchdown, and kicker Randy Bond, not to be confused again with James Bond.
There's too many people we're confusing with other people.
Yes. So that means we'll confuse all the people.
Everyone.
Yes. Which is the point. It's called misdirection. Randy Bond's game-winning PAT gave the Aggies a 41-40 win in South Bend Saturday night. Moving on to the backyard brawl, West Virginia, your West Virginia Mountaineers, and the Pitt Panthers. West Virginia rallied from a 10-point fourth quarter deficit to tie the score and force OT thanks to, how do you say the cute, Nico
Marchiol.
Marchiol's 2-yard
He's a
pass.
Paisan where I believe the E got dropped.
That would make
Is
sense.
my guess. I believe it's Marchiole that the E got dropped to be Americanized. That's my guess as
That would make sense.
an Italian American.
2-yard pass to Grayson Barnes with 11 seconds left to play. And after Mountaineer running back Ty Edwards, who played fantastic in that game, scored in the extra session, WVU's defense turned over Pitt on downs to give the Mountaineers a 31-24 victory over the Panthers in this year's edition of the Backyard Brawl, basically saving West Virginia's season.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
And last one here before I ask you which one stood out to you most. I couldn't leave this off. Delaware versus UConn. Delaware kicker Nate Reed hit a 43-yarder as time expired to force OT against Ucken. And after the Blue Hens defense held the Huskies to a field goal, Delaware QB Nick Minicucci scampered into the end zone on a 13-yard run to give the fighting Joe Flacco's, fighting Joe Biden's, the fighting Rich Gannon's, whichever you want to go out there with, a 44 to
Rich Gannon went there.
Yes, Rich Gannon. A 44-41 victory, and it gave Delaware their first win as an FBS program over another FBS school. So, boy, which ones did you like the best?
I can tell which one I liked the best is Georgia Tech. Which one I think had the biggest implications is Texas A&M. Georgia Tech, though, we've talked about Haynes King for the last 2 years at length. I mean, I absolutely love him, and he just has an it factor about him. He's going to go out there and give you everything to win these games. And Georgia Tech, to me, was a better football team. I said last week that I thought Georgia Tech was going to win this game.
Yeah,
I said, give me Georgia Tech, give me Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that result should have surprised no one. I agree with you. No one should have been shocked that they won. Now, how they won is great. It's awesome. I do love that.
Yeah, the fire drill to come out and
they had no timeouts left. They ran on the field. Yeah, that's awesome, right? That's all great stuff.
I mean, to me, Georgia Tech was in control of that game. Everyone always talked about Clemson's NFL D line. There's like 3 or 4 guys on that D line and front 7 that are going to be NFL players. Probably 2 that might be first round picks, and they got worked. And Georgia Tech, I believe their coach was a former offensive lineman.
Brent Key.
Correct? Key?
I believe so, yeah.
I mean, they have an identity, and they've stuck to their identity, and we kept waiting for Clemson. We kept saying, well, this is the year. Klubnik's back. Look at these receivers. Look at this defensive line. They haven't looked good at all. They almost feel like they needed that core of coaches to stay together of Dabo, Venables, Tony Elliott, to all stay together at Clemson, because they all went on their own. Venables looks like he's doing better this year at Oklahoma, but he was not good last year. Tony Elliott's had a tough go at UVA. Again, this might be the year they turn around with an easy schedule and their offense looks great. But Dabo, since those guys left, has not been good. He's been okay, but not to Clemson standards under Dabo. Right?
Oh, yeah, well, because we kind of got
used to
11-1.
Right, yeah, and go and win a national
championship.
Instead,
they go 11-3 and win the ACC. So,
but
they don't.
You're one
what you're trying to say
right now, and don't look good. Don't look good while you're playing.
Yeah, what you're trying to say is they don't look like a threat at all to win a national title, regardless if they get in or not. And that's kind of what it was.
They'll most likely win 9 games. Yeah, they got in last year.
They're going to win 9 or 10 games just because of how good of a coach he is and talent alone, right, and so basically they don't look like they're up to par with being able to go 14-1 or whatever and win a national title. They don't look like that part
a title contender anymore.
Correct.
Even though in the preseason, I think a lot of people, including myself, I thought, why not Clemson this year? And they don't look the part. That's my issue with Clemson. Georgia Tech, on the other hand, has a pretty nice schedule for the second half. I hope Haynes King stays healthy. And they should be in the ACC championship when it's all said and done. But We still have, Miami and Florida State to go through as well, but Georgia Tech does have a pretty favorable schedule going forward. So look for Georgia Tech to continue to win. And then the other game, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, I thought this was big implications for both teams. Notre Dame has zero margin for error now,
Yes.
right? Now you played two good football teams. You lost one possession each one. So, and your name is Notre Dame, and you're on, national TV every single week. So people will get to see you, and you'll most likely, if you win out, you still have a good chance to get in.
Which
Right?
is what happened last year, right? After they
Yes,
lost
they
to
lost
Northern Illinois,
correct.
with the way their schedule was, they basically had to win out. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I think they probably would have gotten in if they had dropped another, but there was real concern because that, like you said, that margin for error was gone.
My biggest game to that or for them is in 2 weeks. I think they might have another bye week, but I think it's 2 games from now are at Arkansas.
Mm,
They get all the other they get USC at home, and
yeah.
there's no one really else on that schedule.
What
Um,
do you mean Stanford doesn't scare you?
yeah.
Well, I remember
This is
last
why
year
they play
it worked out for them that they wound up playing like Navy and Army, who were
right,
both
because they ended up being
ranked,
good,
and
like
those are like their two
Syracuse.
best two. Yeah, Syracuse was good last year. Those are like their best wins. So, right, it's one of those that is one of the bigger benefits of Notre Dame with them being able to do their whole schedule independently. You never know year to year, and you could say that with every
Right,
team. But let's be honest, right? When you're playing the ACC slate and you were like the ACC Coastal, and I know they got rid of those, but for the most part, you play those same teams, right? If you know every year you're playing UVA, Duke, Wake Forest as three of your games,
right. I mean,
it,
they
it no
also
matter
play out of the Big
you
10, they
know
play Purdue and USC.
but USC's now ranked. Where we know they're
USC
a
is now
wild
ranked,
card,
and
right?
you
So, but
can't and they do have Boise State on the schedule, and which is typically a tough game, but we don't know how good Boise State at that point, maybe they'll get their stuff figured
yeah,
out
I mean
and with their
that
new
is
team.
again that is the blessing and the curse of that schedule. And normally, what happens is it evens out. It really does. If you look at from year to year, like you could look at Notre Dame's schedule to start of the year and say, "Oh, it's soft," and then at the end of the year, you go, "Wait a second, how the hell did Purdue
How
go?
yeah,
9-3 and now ranked 20th in the country, and they one of their three losses was to Notre Dame, right?
right. So
It
here's
just
their schedule. You get home Purdue at Arkansas. To me, is a big game. I think Arkansas wins this game. They're legit. Like
I don't.
they're pretty damn good. It's hard to go into Pig Suey over
12,
there.
12 noon, which would be, I think, 11 a.m. for them, is a weird. That's actually, I think, what it would make the biggest difference in that game in Arkansas's favor is that time. But boy, I'll believe it when I see it. If you're just looking at their schedule too, right? We bring up how these uh, teams with the conference are all about, oh, we have to play 9 conference games or whatever, right? Well, look at Notre Dame's schedule. How many of these are Power Four teams, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
There's 2
8,
non.
9, 10. They
Yeah, 2
play 10.
9, and it's
Who
Boise State and Navy.
exactly? So you could argue, even if the rest of these teams don't wind up being that good, you could argue, in a sense, that schedule is as tough as any schedule in the country because no one's playing more power teams, right? Is there anyone playing 10 power conference games?
That's a good question. Alabama, right?
I
Because
mean, that's just it.
Alabama played Florida State and Wisconsin. So that's 2 of their 4 non-conference games, and then the rest 8 SEC teams, so you get 10 Power 4.
Yeah, right. I
And
mean,
typically, Wisconsin 5 years when they scheduled that series, Wisconsin was actually good.
but yeah, but it goes back again to looking at that, right? They got Miami and A&M, arguably, when you look at it, their two toughest opponents. But like we said, USC is 25. They could climb the rankings. You could, by the time, in theory, right, by the time you go to play Syracuse Center, they could be ranked like they were last year, right?
Correct.
Heck, even NC State. NC
NC
State's 3
State,
and 0
right,
right
yeah,
now.
that's what I was thinking
By the
is
time that,
NC State might be a fringe top 25 by the time they get there,
and heck,
and then it
Purdue's
looks really good.
gotten off to a decent start. I think they're 2-1 with their one loss being to USC. who knows? You beat them, and then they rattle off a few games, and you just have a win over a 7-win Purdue team, which is why, again, when things all shake up, right? And you look at some of these other schools, they say, "Oh, our conference games are so hard," but you could look at it and say, "Well, how many bowl teams did you beat this year,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
How many power conference bowl teams did you beat, right?" So
yeah.
there is a legitimate
I
case
mean,
to be
you don't
made for
know.
that
Yeah, right.
schedule being extremely tough based off of that. Even though you're saying, well, they're not playing Clemson or Florida State, or they didn't load it with this. They're still playing essentially a more power conference slate, more heavy power conference slate than anyone else in the country for the most part.
Correct. But yes, the no conference championship game. Remember that for Notre Dame. However, if they win out, they're in. Right. I think we agreed.
Absolutely. Again,
Yeah.
just looking at that, right? That in theory, right? If an SEC team were to have lost their first two games and then run the table and win every one of their conference games,
They would go to the
they're in,
SEC championship, and which would
correct.
automatically, pretty much automatically put them in
And
the
and
ACC
and
tournament.
as we've brought up before, oftentimes that bottom part of that league turns out to not be good, right? And
Yes,
it depends each year, but there's a lot of unknowns that are going to happen, right? You don't know what'll happen to like a Mizzou
Mizzou's good.
a Mississippi State or South Carolina, right? And you could or Florida, and half of my wins when I won out were against the bottom of the SEC, but I've got 10 wins. It's the same thing with Notre Dame, that they control their own destiny as much as anyone else. I don't think you could sit there and say that schedule's weak, considering the opponents they play. Now, another thing that helps Notre Dame is, they would never travel to Boise State and play that game on the blue turf,
No,
right? That game's being played in South Bend or a neutral
that's why
site,
the
so
that's why the at Arkansas game is
it's
interesting to
big,
me,
yes.
because they don't play a lot of true away games. I mean, you played at Miami, and they have a terrible, like,
Home field
crowd
advantage,
home
yeah.
field advantage. Like, yeah, the stadium was full, but was it really, like, loud enough to be? It's not an SEC stadium, I can tell you that.
No,
So that was one of your away games, and you lost. Uh, at Arkansas, I'm telling you, like, if I'm a Notre Dame fan, that scares
no,
me a lot.
yeah. I mean, going on the road should scare everyone, right? And it's something that gets discounted because you look at things too much on paper. But I wonder what the matchup predictor. They have the percentage chance of winning each week,
Yeah,
and they update each week for every game that
it's 53% Notre Dame.
yeah, right. I mean, you would look at that and say, oh, everyone's gonna pick Notre Dame, but to your point, boy, 53% is not convincing,
No,
right?
thi-
At
this
all.
dude,
That
this
that will
this
that will be
Arkansas
it. That will be a tough challenge.
Talon Green, the QB for Arkansas, is one of the best in the nation. He's kind of what, like, you know Sellers was supposed to be, or like, he's kind of playing that role of, like, this guy, like, we feel like he was good. Now he's playing great. He's playing great this year. He took a
Yeah,
step forward.
yeah. Now I do want to bring up the Georgia Tennessee game for a little bit. Are you okay with the way Tennessee handled their final drive?
So you're gonna have to recap it to me, because I was locked into the backyard
Okay.
brawl.
Well, on their
My issue with the game, I like, obviously the backyard brawl. I have to watch it, and I'm locked into it, even though Georgia Tennessee is a much bigger game. I kept trying to flip back and forth because I needed the full screens. I wasn't gonna multi-screen those, so I needed the full screen. So I kept flipping back and forth. And the Pitt West Virginia game, there wasn't a lot of scoring happening. In the Georgia Tennessee game, there was a
was
lot
just
of scoring, and
yes,
so it was constantly a commercial. Every time I flipped back on, it was that commercial, and so I
yeah.
I flipped it on when they were in field goal range. And I was like, oh, let me flip it back for the kick. That's kind
Yeah,
of what ended up
so
happening.
I mean, personally, I think they handled it fine because at the end of the day, you have to at least give your team a shot to win, and you can't, turn the ball over or do something stupid, right? You have to. Your goal is to make it so you have the final say. You don't give anything back to Georgia, and you gave yourself a chance to win. I read some pundits and people being critical of that final drive, saying it was too conservative. That they kind of once they got into
But
range
it,
or
it was a, it was a tie game, correct?
correct, and that's what I'm saying. That you have to, at the very worst. that be the
And that
result.
game tied.
A missed field goal as time expired
Keeps you
because
alive. Correct.
especially with the way Georgia had been moving the ball, right?
Yeah, there
So
wasn't a lot of defense being played in that.
no, I have zero way with it. I actually, when I was watching it, probably would have done what Josh Heupel did in that
It
position.
ended up being, what, a 43-yarder?
It was 43, and I think they had a false start penalty that pushed it back to 43.
So these pundits like to say, whatever, it should have been a 38-yarder, like a 40-yard field goal in that range should be winnable.
Yeah, but again, you because right, you're playing. You have to be in some way cautious, and I know it sounds like you're not having confidence in your own team to execute, but again, at the same time, you're going against currently the best coach in the country, in my opinion, right? And the gold standard basically for schools that they find ways to win this game like they do. So you can't give the ball back to them and kind of try to push it, and then you give it back to them with 33 seconds left. Like, you can't leave that happen because they would come down and get a field goal off, right? So I had no issue with it. Obviously, you want it to be a little closer, right? 40, even 38. Like a kid to a very inexperienced kicker. He never attempted, I think, a game tying or winning field goal. Only a few attempts in his career, right? So that might be something that you go, well, you want to get him closer, which you would, but at the same time, you have to give the kid a chance. You can't give the ball back to Georgia. I had no issue with it. I mean, the bigger issue was in OT. I thought that them getting stopped and kicking the field goal, you knew it was done.
Yeah,
Tennessee. That you knew, and you could maybe they could have went for it, right? It's hard when you're going first to go. I mean, that is the one benefit of going second in OT is
they
that
coin toss the OT, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
and everyone chooses to go second for that reason.
obviously. Yeah,
Then
yeah,
if
you have
I
to
get a
choose that.
stop,
Yeah, you know
basically
what you need.
yeah.
You get a stop, you pretty much win the game.
But that was again, Georgia just finding a way. Anything else before we move on?
Like they always do.
Before we move on to our 3 strikes.
Je vais aller voir quelque chose de grandiose, alors que d'autres choses qui sont plus à ma portée, je ne peux pas les faire.
Now,
j'ai pas fait mes preuves là.
Do you have the
Pourquoi est-ce qu'elle va près de moi? Un porteur du camp alors. Donc j'ai fait mes preuves là. Pourquoi est-ce qu'elle va près de moi? Un porteur du camp alors. Donc mon hygiène de vie a toujours été essentielle. Manger correctement. Mon hygiène de vie a toujours été essentielle. Manger correctement, dormir correctement, bouger pour tenir toute la durée en fait. Et on ne peut pas dormir correctement, bouger pour tenir toute la durée en fait. Et on ne peut pas.
Keep it in the same college football round. We're gonna do winners and losers. What do you want to start with, winners or losers?
To the victor go the spoils.
All right, so we'll start with some winners. Number one, let's go Miami. USF came in hot. Everyone they were the darling, right? They had 2 big wins. And Miami said, these are two Florida schools going at it. There's a lot of guys that have played high school against each other. This could be a close game. Miami put a stop to that real quick, which unlike Miami, in recent years to do that. So that if you're a Miami fan, that's got to give you a lot of confidence that maybe this team's different than recent years. Maybe they are a national title contender. Number 2, we talked about them before, Texas A&M. Huge win. I think that ended up being bigger for A&M than it was worse for Notre Dame. But A&M gets a massive win. We love Elko as the coach. They seem like they should get better and better as the year goes with their young quarterback. Gotta stop somebody though. SEC defense not looking great. The next team, also an SEC team, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's awesome.
Fighting Diego Pavias.
Absolutely. And I picked that game the last week as well. That I said, Vandy going to South Carolina, give me Vandy. They're a better coach football team by far.
That result shouldn't have. They got like the Georgia Tech one shouldn't have shocked anyone.
Correct.
I mean, maybe what is shocking is how bad they beat them, especially how they just wore them down consistently throughout the game.
Vanderbilt is a tougher team. They're a better coach team. They're a more disciplined team, and they have better schemes. They have better football players.
Yes.
South Carolina might have the biggest physical freaks in the country. That team is horribly coached. Horribly. When you're in a dogfight with Virginia Tech for the first 3 quarters, you know you're not a well-coached football team.
Yeah, I agree.
That was an
too
easy
much
call.
look at me and not enough execution with the little things.
100%.
Attention to detail.
Shane Beamer throws another hissy fit on the sidelines, like he always does when he's getting out-coached. Vanderbilt, really, really good. Would not shock me to see them at the top of the SEC. Next team, Georgia Tech. We talked about them. Haynes King. Again, not shocked to see them beat Clemson. And the last team that I have here, Cal.
Yeah, they look
Cal
good.
beat Minnesota by 2 scores. This Cal team is legit. Their quarterback's legit. To beat a PJ Fleck team, that was a big deal. I think that's a big stepping point for Cal.
Yeah, no, that was good for them, especially a team that was, basically left for dead before the season started because they lost Fernando Mendoza to Indiana. They lost, their whole team essentially transferred out. And so they were just said, oh, they'll be the scrap heap with Stanford. And their game at the end of the year would be the Pella fight of the century, right? And not so fast.
Not so fast. Good for Cal.
And Stanford got a win, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So they
Andrew Lux.
Yeah, the Frank Reich led Stanford beat the Bill O'Brien led Boston College Eagles 30-20, I believe.
5 years ago, that was the Texans versus Colts.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. I wonder if that's a reason
brutal.
Reich was able to win that is, kind of. I might know his schemes a little better. I've more, comfortability facing him versus some of these other random schools. Who the hell is this guy over there?
Yeah, who's this Hawaii quarterback that's tearing me up?
Yeah. So good stuff there. How about some losers? You got the sound effect? I want to hear the buzzer. Thank you.
Let's go to some losers. Number 1 here.
Some non-winners.
No, they're losers. Florida. Let's start with them. It's a joke that they were ever ranked to begin with. Why we always look at these teams and they have shitty years in the last 5 years they've been terrible. Maybe they have one good year in there or whatever. We go, but look at these guys. Look at TJ Lagway. Look at these 5-star. Look at these blue chip athletes. Look at all their athletes that they've got. They stink. They're not a good football team. Stop. They have to earn their way back in. Stop with this crap preseason ranking Florida. They suck. Their schedule is also brutal. They might win 4 games.
Yeah, they have. I believe it's the toughest schedule in the country. Ranked.
Good luck. Your team stinks. So unless you really figure something out here, or DJ Lagway puts on a Superman cape, your team sucks. Next one, South Carolina. We talked about them. I also think you have a tough chance making a bowl game. 6-6, maybe 7-5 for South Carolina, because I think you're a terribly coached football team. And if Sellers is hurt, I think he got a concussion, you're screwed. Notre Dame, we talked about them. They have to be perfect going the rest of the way. Clemson, another 7-5, 8-4 possibility for them. I think they play Louisville, Florida State. Maybe.
Yeah, but again, they'll wind up 10-3, 9-4 at the word. It's just Dabo finds a way. Just
true.
Just like life in Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Life finds a way.
The Pitt Panthers looked horrible against a team that lost to Ohio the week before. A lot of trash talk.
Not the Ohio State, but Ohio.
Ohio, by the way, is pretty damn good. But either way, Pitt, if you had any aspirations this year, you can't lose to West Virginia. That was a bad, and they looked horrible doing it. Holstein got beat up. Saw his press conference. He had a black eye, bloody nose, taped up nose. He just went toe to toe with the new West Virginia Zach Alley led defense, which looks pretty damn good. And then the biggest loser of them all. The Virginia Tech Hokies.
Who? Do they still play football? I thought they were only a basketball school.
I thought they just played Metallica concerts.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had a football program. That's right.
Apparently, after Metallica goes on, there's some group of 11 guys that walks out there. They
the
suck.
London Silly Nannies.
I mean, holy shit, Tech! What? How you are down 28-0 to ODU in the first half is at home is so hilarious.
Night game too.
Night game. Yep.
Oh, I believe I did the math in the 4-quarter stretch, the second half of Vandy's game, first half of ODU's game. They were outscored 62-0. 62-0
to Vanderbilt and ODU. Now we know Vanderbilt's good,
but I don't
their
care.
Name is still Vanderbilt.
You're supposed to be Virginia Tech.
Correct. Virginia Tech since I think it was like 2013 or something. They have like a 500 record. Whatever it is. We've known this for a long time. They've been overrated since like 2008. Like they had some good years. They had some really good years in the early 2000s. You had the national championship run with Vic, and then you had some really good years in the early 2000s, but they've pretty much been overrated since like 2008, 2009. And it happens all the time. And then especially since like 2013, they've been terrible. So stop trying to hype up Tech because they suck. They really have to figure something out.
Yeah, boy, that was rough to watch. It was embarrassing.
I had 4 games that I wanted
stopped.
To watch.
I was like, what is? It's like, what the hell is going on? Like that, this not how things are supposed to be. But and Brent Pry getting fired right after. I mean, the way they lost that game really is a fire. It's a fireable offense.
Yeah, no choice. Yeah,
and them firing him is a couple things. One, it prevents him from being able to win his job back, right? Because what if in theory they had turned it around and they wound up doing well and obviously the beating UVA by like 30 and
right. I assume the interim coach is still going to beat UVA by 40.
I agree as well. But that would have made it harder to get rid of him, right? And by firing him at this point, you don't give him that opportunity. And you also get a head start on being able to find that you get first dibs when the coaching carousel comes around. You get dibs before the carousel even starts, right? You get to have this whole committee line up, like do all these things to find that person you need. Obviously Shane Beamer is going to be the first one they bring up.
It's always that one. He's not, and when South Carolina goes 6-6 and he inevitably gets fired.
Yes.
But that'd be classic Virginia Tech to hire him just because his name is Beamer and be like, look, well, we got him. He's back home or whatever. And like, he's not a good coach.
Yeah. I
like
tend
a damn
to
good recruiter, but also it helps when you're South Carolina in the SEC and you got some money.
Yeah, I do tend to agree. I mean, Tech obviously you would think has the money.
I saw Michael Vick come on the board. They're like, well, we want like some Virginia Tech boosters said they wanted Vic to get coaching experience or whatever. Like, yeah, he just lost 60-0 at Rutgers.
60-10, boys.
60-10. Sorry.
Excuse me.
Let me get that right.
But yeah, no, I think that he really needed to have like if he had 2 full years under his belt. Even if the results weren't that good, if he had 2 full years, he would be very very strongly considered for that position.
You're gonna have to either someone's gonna have to write a big ass check so you can pull someone away from another school, or it's gonna have to be a group of 5 guy that looks at the Virginia Tech program as a sleeping giant or something.
Yeah, like a Kurt Signetti, how he went from
the JMU
to Indiana. Yes,
right. You're gonna have. I think Tulane's coach has been mentioned.
I saw JMU's coach
has been mentioned
as well.
I'd have to think it would be if you can get Tulane's coach, that'd be pretty good.
Yes.
But yeah, I would think JMU's coach to me is probably number 1 on that at reality list.
Yes. Yeah, I mean it's but we kind of know how their season's going to go anyway. They'll beat Wofford. They'll wind up beating Florida State or Miami, one of them. They'll beat UVA by 30. right? And they'll wind up 4 to 6 wins somewhere. And like we said, that could have been enough stuff to justify possibly keeping Brent Pry. But at the end of the day,
their transfer portal opened up. Guys are
yes,
already in.
they can, yeah.
Because there's no they can use a red shirt.
Exactly, because they haven't played 4 games yet either.
Yes,
so
correct.
Yes, it's interesting times down there in Blacksburg. Like I said, I wasn't sure they still played football.
It's a Metallica concert, apparently.
That's what I thought too.
Also, Country Roads. There's one reason why Country Roads is better than Enter Sandman. The reason is that Country Roads only gets played when you win. You have to earn it. Enter Sandman gets played every game, no matter what. If your team sucks or not, like you come out to Enter Sandman. It's awesome. It's one of the best entrances in all of college football, besides Florida State. I think it's probably it might be the second best entrance, but you don't have to earn it. It's always getting played. Country Roads, you have to earn it. There are games I've been to, a lot of them, where we did not earn it, and it never got played. So take that, even if you say it's about Western Virginia, not West Virginia.
Doesn't matter. Tech still sucks. Anything else before we? Thank you. Are you gonna play it every time I say Tech? I just say Tech. What? Hey, well, I was just talking about Virginia Tech. That's all I was saying. Okay, fine, whatever. Right, the team in Blacksburg, the alleged team in Blacksburg. Maybe they'll win a game. Well, no, we know they'll win at least one game this year because they'll be.
Right?
And they'll be UVA.
There should be 2 wins on that schedule.
So congratulations, Tech fans. You have 2 wins. Woo!
Well done.
Go castrated turkeys. Moving on to NFL Week 2 recap brought to you by Lane Switch Consulting. Teachers, are you ready to transition out of the classroom into a career where you feel valued and fulfilled? At Lane Switch Consulting, they specialize in helping educators navigate their journey into new roles beyond teaching. Follow them on LinkedIn at Lane Switch Consulting and on Instagram at LaneSwitch_consulting for tips, success stories, and resources to support your next steps. Now, a couple things I wanted to highlight here. Just a couple teams. First off, the Colts, the Fighting Johnny Unitas's, or Fighting Pat McAfee's, or the Fighting Griff Whalens, if you will. Brandon Stokely, rather have that.
Oh yeah, Dallas Clark, Austin Collie.
That's it. Pierre Garcon.
Colts know how to draft,
except after that episode of Parks and Rec aired, their drafting went in the dumper. However, Indianapolis Colts became the first team ever to not punt the ball and commit 0 turnovers over the first 2 games of the season. Their punter has not been used yet, except for to hold.
It's unbelievable.
That's amazing.
When your quarterback is Daniel Jones.
Yes, considering that their quarterback is Daniel Jones, who in this game against the Broncos completed 23 of 34 passes for 316 yards and a touchdown in their victory.
He looks good. It's amazing. Like, all these guys that get to the NFL are so damn talented and so good. But if they don't have an offensive line, or they play in an organization that sucks, they look terrible. And it's always, that QB sucks. He's just god awful. Look at him. Look, you can't win with this guy. And then he goes to Indianapolis, and for to start the year for 2 games, they haven't punted because he's been so good.
Yes, I believe I saw a stat that Daniel Jones has played 2 games for the Colts. In those 2 games, again, no punts, no turnovers. Peyton, however many games Peyton played, there's only 1 game that he played for the Colts where there was no punts and no turnovers. I get that. That's insane.
How many Hall of Famers were with Peyton too?
Exactly. A lot.
Yeah, a running back with either Falk or Edgerrin James.
Multiple receivers. Just Reggie Wayne isn't in yet, but Reggie Wayne should be.
He should be.
He will be. And then defense,
and a tight end that was pretty damn good with Dallas.
Freeney and Mathis. You had those guys.
Bob Sanders.
Bob was not. Yeah, I mean, he played at that level for a couple years, but that's all he got. Indy's kicker Spencer Schrader connected on the game-winning 45-yard field goal after the Broncos were called for a penalty on his original 60-yard try. So it was a 15-yard. It was like the leveraging or whatever they call it, where you like use someone to boost yourself up, which is kind of dumb. But that gave the Colts a 29-28 win. That's all that matters. And they're now 2-0 to start the year. And I don't think a lot of people had that on their bingo card.
Taylor looks really good.
Well, I mean, go figure. The new strategy basically is let's get the ball in this guy's hands as much as possible. No wonder
line is really good, and Taylor's a damn good running back.
And they're good at run blocking too, right? When your best lineman's Quentin Nelson, he's a mauler. He's there to push people into the ground, and
with the Colts too. The tight end they drafted, Tyler Warren, out of Atlee High School. He's a fantastic run blocker. I mean, Tyler Warren's awesome, and I don't know why people thought going into this draft and everything a lot of people thought Loveland's the number one pick, right? It's or number one tight end off the board. It's Loveland. Like I don't know what people were missing with Warren. Warren to me checked all the boxes. Loveland didn't. Loveland wasn't the best run blocker. Loveland wasn't a better football player than Warren. Warren's a damn good football player. Warren feels like it's Chris Cooley as the H-back with Jason Witten run blocking with the athleticism of like almost like Gonzalez. Like that's how good he is.
Yeah, I mean, small sample size.
But when you hear his teammates talk about him, that's really what like impressed me is like the teammates talk about how good of a football player this guy is.
Yeah, and that's something we brought up before, and something that really is unique to just the sport of football is football player is a non-quantifiable trait. Like you can't really say that for a lot of other sports, right? Because you say, well, this guy's a baseball player. Well, he only hits 170. I don't care how good of a baseball player. Those things have those stats you can point to. Football doesn't. There's no stat that says this guy's a great football player, right? You can put up stats of how many catches and yards someone has, or block win rate, right? Run block win rate, things like that. But you can't put a measure on how good of a football player a Jim Leonard is, right? And that's what is part beautiful about football and part infuriating is that you have those guys who defy, like a Russell Wilson, like a Jim Leonard, Baker Mayfield, like these guys who come out of nowhere and like, hey, where'd this guy come from? Well, he's been Austin Eckler. He's been here. They've been here the whole time. They've been out there. They just didn't have X physical attributes.
That's what bothers me with Warren is like Warren has the physical attributes, right? There's nothing you see that he can't do so and so on a football field because he's not big enough, he's not strong enough, he's not fast enough. He's got it. He has the physical attributes.
Yeah, and
he's got the it factor with him, and he's smart. This guy used to be a quarterback in high school. Actually recruited to the Virginia Tech Hokies as a I don't know if he was recruited as a quarterback or not, but he was recruited there. He was gonna go there, and then he was like, I'm going to Penn State. Probably the smartest move he's ever made.
Another jab at Tech. I'd like to just bring up since you mentioned it. I saw something back 10 years ago when Beamer was going to retire. The article.
Oh, the Kirby Smart.
Yeah, Kirby Smart might be interested in taking the head coaching job at Virginia Tech.
I think it was like he'd be thrilled to take it. Like it was such a like opportunity or whatever. They really wanted the Virginia Tech job.
So I wonder if he's still interested. Maybe they should reach out to him, see if he's still interested, and look at that. Moving on to the Cowboys. Actually, they defeated the Giants in a wild and crazy game. I don't know if you saw that, but
I saw that one.
Russell Wilson of the Giants now connected with Malik Neighbors for the go-ahead 48-yard touchdown with 25 seconds left. But Dallas's kicker Brandon Aubrey from
I have no idea where he's from.
Notre Dame.
Oh, okay.
Did not play football there. played soccer
He's a
there.
soccer player.
Yes. He nailed a 64-yard field goal as time. Yes, I said that right. 64-yard field goal as time expired to force overtime. Then the extra session after the teams traded, multiple punts, nothing going on offense. Russ threw a pretty inexplicable
that was a bad
interception, and that set up Aubrey's game-winning 46-yarder in OT to drop the Giants to the dreaded 0-2 and to salvage possibly the Cowboys season that they sit out at 1-1.
People laughed at me in my fantasy league for drafting a kicker in like the 12th round, and I drafted Brandon Aubrey.
Wow, you waited. I normally draft a kicker before then, just because to get a dude like that
is so important.
It's
so important. That dude put up an insane number of points.
Yeah, because what you're just gonna say, "Oh, I'll wait," and you get the Jaguars kicker.
Yeah, exactly. Like, not all kickers are created equal in this league.
No. I mean
you
now
Aubrey or Boswell. Those are your two.
Now the kicking depth and skill has never been better.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right. I mean, it almost seems like these guys are routine. Like it would have been thought of as asinine not that long ago to line up for a 60-yard field goal.
Oh my gosh, crazy!
And now it's like every one of these guys, you pretty much would give them the chance.
I think Al Michaels made a joke about it on the Thursday night broadcast, where it's like line up for a 53-yarders. Like these look almost routine. Like a 53-yarder is supposed to be difficult.
Yeah, no, these guys are good. They are legit. And the last NFL note here is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by the aforementioned Baker Mayfield. Did you know this? Since it's either 2022 or 2023, Baker has the most touchdown passes in the NFL.
I could see it.
He also has the most fourth quarter comebacks in that time with 12, right? Including orchestrating Monday night's game-winning drive against Houston in Tampa Bay's 2019 victory over the Texans.
I love their offense. Love it. And it's, to me, not every team can do what they do at all, right? They kind of feel almost like Peyton Manning's Indianapolis Colts offenses, where it's the only team I have seen that can sit in a shotgun and actually have a QB make the correct decisions, reads, and be accurate with the football and make his throws and have these receivers that are really, really good and orchestrate his team down the field. I haven't seen another team really do that. Like, there's a lot of gimmicks. There's a lot of these different, like, read options, RPOs. Bucky Irving is a phenomenal running back, too. They've got weapons, and they've got the QB to lead them. Like, I love watching Baker play and watching that offense run.
Now, are they a Super Bowl contender, though? Would you sit there and say, because you look at, like, they're a contender to make the Super Bowl?
No, I legitimately would.
Because I look at them and I still say, good team should win their division. But I mean,
there's so much depth at that receiver position. I think they're and the receivers all play together.
But like, receivers don't win you championships.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is the way that team runs their offense, it feels like a Peyton Manning Colts team. But again, they only won one Super Bowl there. So
yeah, I mean,
maybe that's why. But I don't know. I like their team. Their offensive line does need some help. I think their right tackle got hurt in their game. I think they had a left tackle playing center.
Gadecki, I think.
I think they had a former tackle playing center or something. It was
yeah. So I think as Luke Gadecki was the right tackle, he was, their tackles are their anchors because Tristan Wirfs is hurt, 4-time Pro Bowl left tackle, and I mean I think he'll be back this year. But you're right, yeah, both tackles hurt. Graham Barton, I believe, who was a guard at Duke, drafted to be a center, was out playing left tackle in that game, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it does show how good of linemen they are to be able to do that. Like, that's not just a move a thing in a video game. That's incredibly difficult to do what Barton did on Monday night. But I don't know. I don't.
Baker has an it factor.
He does. That was on full display Monday night because I really didn't.
That Will Anderson tackle and that one geeked me out so bad because I was watching it. Where like he gets Baker at the line of scrimmage. It was like a 4th and 1 or something. Baker reaches out and gets the first down. Will Anderson gets up and he's doing one of these, right? No, he didn't get it. Like, look at me type of thing. And Baker turns right around to him and goes, "That's first down." I was waiting for it. I was like, I love Baker.
Yeah,
their defense is good. I don't know. I like their team. Again, easy paths to the playoff, right?
Well, I mean, it is. Yes, they should win that division pretty easily. Though that division's always weird, so you never know what will happen. But you look at the NFC, though, right? Eagles, Lions, Packers, 49ers.
I agree. Yeah, correct. Their
Rams,
defensive
Commanders.
line, that Eagles D line against the Bucs offensive line is a.
Instagram. I've got like less than 100 to go. Come on, everybody.
Nice. I would totally do an ad if someone was like, "Why the fuck not?" I would totally do an ad if someone was like, "Why the fuck not?"
I don't think it will make it.
Would you do a Phoenix.ca?
Hell yeah.
Imagine it being a brand.
Why am I
I think it will make it.
Would you do a Phoenix.ca?
Hell yeah.
Imagine it being a brand.
Why am I pretending?
Our Super Bowl contending team.
I think they got a shot to make a run. Anyone does, but if you're sitting there saying who are the
gotta stay healthy,
who are the true contenders? I don't
Packers, Eagles,
Lions, and if 49ers are healthy, you have to put them.
I like the Buccaneers over them.
The 49ers still have almost as much
I think the
skill
Buccaneers
as
are a
anyone.
better but I think the Buccaneers are a better football team.
Might be better coach. Todd Bowles is a excellent football coach. But yeah, I don't know. He's done great. Baker's done great. He's come into his own. He's proven himself as
I just like watching
legitimate leader in this league, a legitimate quarterback in this league. So I think no longer can people kind of sit there and dump on him. I think what you're seeing is, you kind of alluded to this earlier, more of a testament to his actual true skill, and more of a knock on the Cleveland Browns, because
and the Carolina Panthers.
Right, on organizations that are consistently losing. Maybe they're losing for a reason, right? Maybe it's something other than the players. Maybe it's organizationally the culture that they have.
I mean, shit, we just talked about the Giants.
Established.
Daniel Jones leaving, Saquon Barkley left. Imagine if those two were on the same team.
Oh, I know. Could you imagine having those two players on your team? Wow, what a team you'd have, right? Moving on, the final strike we have. You want to hit the button? I think we missed it last time.
I will. Yeah, we did miss it last time.
Ha! Bring them up. Is the Premier Lacrosse League, or the PLL Championship. If you missed it, the New York Atlas held the Denver Outlaws to 1 goal in the fourth quarter to come from behind and defeat them, or to defeat the Outlaws 14-13 in the PLL final. League MVP Connor Schellenberger from UVA had 2 goals and 2 assists. Last year's MVP Jeff Teat had a game-high 6 points, 3 goals, and 3 helpers. And Matt Trainer, who came in for the injured Xander Dixon, scored thrice, including the game-tying tally in the fourth, to lead the Atlas attack. Brian Costabile scored twice in the final stanza to give New York the lead for good. And our boy defenseman Michael Rexroad added an assist, his first assist of the season, by the way.
Was it really?
Yes, as the Atlas secured their first championship in team history Sunday. Yes,
I was wondering what the hell he was doing.
Rexroad, who is now making it sexy to be Rexy again. He had a 2-point goal earlier this year. I forgot against what team, but those were his only points this year. That's his first helper of the season.
Yeah, I was I saw him down there. I was like, "What the hell is he doing with the ball?"
So
great pass.
Sometimes you just find life finds a way.
Yeah, right. I tell you what, the dude he was guarding the whole game.
Was it Bernhard?
Brandon O'Neill
or Brandon? Oh yeah, Brandon is
from
huge.
Duke. Absolutely massive. I think they said he was like 6'3", 235. He looked bigger. You look bigger than that. That dude's huge.
Fought bigger.
Yeah, fought bigger. But yeah, wow, the skill from those two teams.
Maybe he went to Centerville. Rode the roller coaster.
You've seen that video of him going, "Does he do the whistle?"
Maybe he went to Centerville. Rode the roller coaster.
You've seen that video of him going, "Does he do the whistle?" It's when he's talking to Seinfeld, Chris Rock, and Louis C.K. and you're like, how when he's talking to Seinfeld, Chris Rock and Louis C.K. and you're like, how are all these four here and Ricky Gervais is still the biggest cunt?
Oh my god!
And now they have the shot clock, and it's a shorter shot clock than you might have in other levels of lacrosse, but it's still a lengthy shot clock.
It looked like the way they were playing, like it almost looked like they had like a basketball in their hands type of thing, like how the skill of basketball and how easy it is to pass and shoot and to go around people and to move and stuff. It looked like that with like the hockey.
I'm glad he likes it. Centerville, maybe.
Like that's how incredible. There were a couple passes. I don't know if it was Schellenberg. I think it was Schellenberg that made them a few passes that were like, I don't know how he got the ball to his guy, like the contorting his body and the stick like behind his back over his head to no look to his guy like right there. It was incredible.
It was a very well played game. Like we said last week, it's the two best teams in the league. So you knew, at least you hoped it would live up to that expectation. And it did, right? That thing about these two teams, the first matchup, Denver won by 1. This one, New York wins by 1. Like there's no separation between the two.
Got chippy at one point.
Two great goalies that we can't leave out. Liam Entenmann, he's got a display at the end of the aisle down there. But in
Denver's
goal in New York,
good.
Yes, I forget his name, but Entenmann really had like 14 saves, I think, something like that. It's fantastic. It was a great game, great to watch. Good for Rex Road and the Atlas and everyone else on there. Great to see. Like I said, great to watch. That was as, like you said, as skillful of a lacrosse game as you will ever.
It was great.
Ever find.
Yeah. I hope that like propels this league forward if people were able to watch that game, because it was very entertaining, very skill. Like it was awesome.
Yeah. Anything else before we move on?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right. That's going to bring us to our favorites, brought to you as always by One Legacy Title and Escrow in Jacksonville, Florida. Follow them on Instagram at One Legacy Florida and visit them at onelegacyflorida.com to see how they can help you with your next house closing. One Legacy Title and Escrow, because your legacy matters. And this week we went with our favorite coaching attire, favorite things to wear whilst coaching a sport.
All right. I'll start here. Number 5, the Steve Spurrier visor. Great look. Keeps the top of your head cool, but also keeps the sun right out of your eyes.
My one issue with that is if you're someone who's follically challenged, like I am, you can't wear it because you literally will have a burnt head in a tan line going across, and it will not be comfortable.
Correct. I believe Kirby Smart also wears the visor.
Yes, he does.
Right.
I thought Eli Drinkwitz wears one.
I think
Sean Peyton, I believe, has worn a visor.
Yes.
Previously.
To me, I've always thought Steve Spurrier. What do you think, visor?
The old ball coach.
The old ball coach. Yeah. He has a quote. I think it was either when he was at South Carolina or Florida or something, that he was like, "Oh, you love playing Georgia in like week 4 or 5 because by that point, half their team's gonna be suspended."
Not wrong.
Not wrong. All right, moving on. Number 4, the baseball manager pullover. So not the uniform. I hate the baseball manager uniform, but I love the pullover that goes on, like the kind of 3/4 sleeve,
the short sleeve one
pullover. Yeah, that's one of my favorite looks if you're a baseball manager. Number 3, the sideline suit, the classic sideline suit. Whether it's hockey, the old school football, they don't do that anymore in football, or basketball. Some still do it in basketball, but the sideline suit, I think, is just a classic look. And if you're Buzz Williams, sometimes you take the suit off and your vest is destroyed and you have to change shirts.
Yes.
But the sideline suit, always a classic. Number 2, the basketball quarter zip. The new look for a lot of college basketball coaches, the quarter zip. And I love this. I think they look really good. The material looks fantastic. And you can, the customization and the uniqueness and the different varieties of it are fantastic. Like, I think West Virginia had 6 different quarter zips and their throwback logos and a Jerry West one, and then like a gold, a white, like blue, all the hits, all the themes,
all the big ones,
all the big ones. I love those basketball quarter zips, and the number one should not be a surprise to anyone. The Bob Huggins tracksuit, because you look good, you feel good, you play good. Tracksuit, give it to me.
All right. So I'm gonna start number 5, the classic like khakis / like the golf pants. So I'm not saying like dress pants. I don't like that. Right? It's the pants that you could wear these to go golfing in, but it still covers your knees, right? Because you can't you want to go out in public.
Cover your knees when
you're out in public, right? Classic khakis, the Jim Harbaugh. That I like those. Number 4. Starter jackets. I don't know if you remember these starter jackets from the 90s. Awesome.
That was a football.
So is just football, right? But so sweet, right? The starter jackets, a must-have. I'm still waiting. Oh, tons of coaches wore them. Go look it up.
Considered windbreakers?
I guess it's fine. You can say a windbreaker. But it was. I'm specifically talking about these starter jackets.
I can see the S
yes.
star symbol.
I'm still waiting for those to come back into the coaching attire realm, because obviously people say, "Oh, people wear them now, right? Fashion is cyclical." I get that, but they're not mainstream yet. Again, like they were, like so many other things are mainstream, right? So I'm just waiting for the starter jackets to come back. Number 3, the sweater vest, the classic Ditka sweater vest.
Okay, Ditka. I think a trestle with the sweater vest. I
still like it. I still think it's a good look.
I don't.
Yeah, it keeps you warm up here, whereas you can be free flowing out there. I like the sweater vest. Number 2, the polo, the classic Coach polo, right? Because I think you can wear that really anytime, right? It is versatile, right? If you needed to wear sleeves underneath of it because it's a little cold, you can. If it's hot out, you're not going to be too hot in it. The Coach polo. And number 1 is the quarter zip, like you said. Quarter zip,
so nice.
It says I'm formal, but I'm here to party.
I like to party too.
Yep. And I like it because, like, basically for that reason, right? You're able to move freely. And in my opinion, a coach has to be unencumbered, because if you are just stagnant and standing and doing nothing, right? Yes, you don't want to be a psycho out there, but you need to be able to move. If I have to go communicate with my whatever coach, D coordinator over here, or like the a specific assistant over here on the basketball sideline, I need to be able to move there comfortably, quickly, right? I shouldn't be uncomfortable, sweating, ripping, like doing these things off when I'm coaching. But the core that presents you, like everyone knows you're the coach, right? It's no mistaking that you are some other player on the sideline who's injured, right? Everyone knows that you are the coach. You're there. It's a clean look. It's simple too. I like that. It's very simple. You pair that with just your khakis or depending on your school's colors, right? I wouldn't be wearing khakis if I coach Providence, right? Because their colors are black and gray. Maybe you have gray slacks and a black quarter zip, right? And put that with some sneakers, some nice high quality sneakers, dress sneakers, or everyone likes to wear the Dunks or the Air Forces that look, they're expensive, right? So that looks like, again, I'm formal, but I'm here to party. That to me is the cleanest look. It's the simplest. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the suit just because of the inability to move and the fact that, where you are is kind of dirty, right? You're in the realm of physical competition with gross, sweaty people, right? That suit, I don't want that getting ruined.
It's kind of surprised. So hockey is like the only sport that hasn't really gone away from the suit.
I wonder if there's a rule that the coaches have to wear suits.
Maybe.
I could see that. But I mean, again, you could say, well, at the Winter Classic, they wear those sweet ass like leather jackets.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe they've got a shirt and tie underneath it, but yeah, I know you're right. Hockey's really only one. Basketball was still hanging on. You see less and less of the Jay Wrights of the world. I do like in basketball too when all the coaches are wearing the same quarter zip. I think Creighton,
yes,
at McDermott, Coach McDermott, they do that, and I think that looks sweet. Like that looks so like buttoned up, like almost intimidating. Like we are here. Look at this. We're all wearing the same one. It stands out with their cool light blue. Like that looked to me. Like I said it. I'm formal, but I'm here to party. Now we're the ones doing the interview now. Like, I
check these starter jackets
out.
Oh
my goodness. Look at that.
How beautiful is that?
And
the Green Bay one.
The glasses, the hats.
The hats this Tony Dungy look is just beautiful.
Is that Dungy?
That's Dungy. Does that not look like that's Tony Dungy?
Does, but wow, young.
Yeah, look at the glasses.
Now
that Vikings hat is sick.
It's everything. This is what we need to bring back.
Start finding them. Start bringing it back.
Has Starter gone under? Is that why? Are they bankrupt?
I have no idea.
Do they not exist
probably
anymore?
A good chance they are. Someone's got to have these.
Some company has to have acquired the rights to Starter. Even if they went bankrupt, they're probably in some like portfolio of some big company they just acquired.
It's got the Starter turtleneck too.
Oh, it's glorious. It really is. Now, if you want to go buy one of those now, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny, like a lot of money, like a lot of money. But yeah, it kind of might be worth it. Bring them back.
I don't know. We need to. Do we know anybody in the biz?
What biz? The coaching biz or the starter product?
The starter product biz, but both.
Well, first we got to find out if it's still a viable, existing company. That's step number one. After that, all bets are off. Free game. Moving on to what to look for. Our last segment brought to you as always by VB Cookie Co. Looking for the perfect way to stand out at the next event you're hosting? Well, custom cookies are a timeless way to have everyone still buzzing even after they leave. Look no further for your cookie needs than VB Cookie Co. Follow them on Instagram at VB Cookie Co. and message them to order yours today. Whether it is a bridal shower, birthday, engagement, or baby shower, their team will work with you to make all your cookie dreams come true. VB Cookie Co. for the sweetest moments. Boy, what you got?
I've got MLB playoff push. We only have about 10 to 12 regular season games left. The AL wild card right now, Cleveland and Texas are looking for that last spot. They're 3 games back. And the NL wild card, Diamondbacks, Reds, Giants are all within 2 games of the last spot for the NL wild card.
That's how much the Mets have just fallen off a cliff. That's insane. To piggyback off of that, one of the biggest series left this weekend. Mariners at Astros. Coming into play today on Tuesday, Seattle is up a half game over Houston. So basically that half game means the difference between being the 3rd seed versus the last seed to get in, right? And like fighting for your life still, right? So you're not just fighting for your division crown, you're fighting to get in the playoffs. So that is a massive series, Seattle at Houston. I do have a couple other things. There are a few old-fashioned rivalry games happening in the college football realm this week. Not getting a lot of attention because there's some reasons that, and you'll see why here in a second. You have the Iron Skillet battle. Do you know who that's between?
The
Iron Skillet. You get an Iron Skillet if you win.
This has to be either a MAC school or Big Ten.
You are incorrect.
Really?
Yes.
This is the Southeastern Conference?
Incorrect as well. This is SMU and TCU, the Iron Skillet battle.
The Iron Skillet is SMU. So
Legends,
what is the origin of this?
Legend says that what happened back in the day is disputed as the timeline, right? But SMU says on their website that back in the day,
wagon trail,
there was an SMU fan cooking up frog legs in an iron skillet before a TCU game as a joke, right? And a TCU fan came over and was like, "Hey man, this is disrespectful. why don't we let the players solve it on the field, and whoever wins will get that skillet in the Frogs. And SMU won the game. They kept the skillet in the Frogs. So then they had some committee create a trophy, and that was, the trophy they created was a skillet that you pass back and forth to the winner.
College football is the best.
Yes, it is. A couple other ones. The Civil War. Who is that, boy?
Civil War is Oregon State.
Correct. They play this weekend. That's lost a lot of luster because Oregon State is just terrible.
And Oregon's
really good.
In different conferences because one of them is really good and the other one sucks.
Yes. Another one where that is the case is the Apple Cup. Who is that?
Wazoo and Washington.
Correct. Washington State just got obliterated by 40 or 50 by North Texas. Not Texas. Not East Texas. Not
South
West
Virginia.
Texas.
East Virginia.
North Virginia. No, but North Texas, yes, just obliterated them. So that kind of puts a damper on it as well. But still, it's nice. What's disheartening is those games normally take place. Not the SMU TCU is normally kind of earlier in the season, but Oregon State, Washington State, former Pac-12 foes, obviously, because it makes sense. Those games always took place over Thanksgiving weekend with all the other rivalry games. It stinks that it's getting played in the middle of September.
Brawl.
Yep.
I don't why
in the middle of September.
Why do they why is it that they can't do it, but Clemson, South Carolina can do it? Georgia Tech, Georgia can do it.
It's a good question.
What's the
Well, I assume part of it is because those have been, I guess, more established and they never took a break, and maybe there's something where they are meeting in perpetuity at that time, so the kind of your schedule builds out from that. Because again, those have been established as non-conference games for so long, whereas West Virginia Pitt used to be a conference game. So now them switching conferences, they're still kind of stuck in the limbo of at the mercy of the conference, is what I'm saying. Whereas those other games, Georgia Tech, South Carolina, Clemson,
I guess all
have
of them,
been
right?
there for yeah, they've always been interconference matchups. So that's always been set. The conferences have always had that. And so basically, like you said, I mean, in reality, your point is very valid. You would think the conferences should be able to work together with these schools. But now, right, these are all a lot of logistics. And you got moving parts. You got multiple conferences having to move things around for not just those two schools, but all the other schools when they do their schedule as well, right?
It's more fun. Yeah, it's more fun having the rivalry week
at the
yes. everyone's a rival, going at it at the end, because there's so many big things that are happening. I mean, remember when West Virginia, it's just been brought up constantly in 2007 when they lost 13-9.
Yeah.
All they had to do was beat a terrible Pitt team and you're in the national championship. And
that terrible Pitt team did have Shady McCoy.
They did, yes.
All right. So you could be terrible, but you got a monster over there. So, but you're right, in a rival.
How all those Pitt teams were, right? They had Darrell Revis on a team that was terrible. I mean,
Larry Fitzgerald, Aaron Donald,
yeah.
Dick,
I'm sure Marino and Dorsett.
Yeah. I believe Pitt is either tied for the most NFL Hall of Famers or is second or third.
It's it blows my mind.
It is crazy if you look at it.
Those players are some of them are the best ever at their positions.
Correct.
Aaron Donald
went to Pitt.
Is the best player ever at his position.
Yes.
Larry Fitzgerald is unreal. Darrell Revis was so good.
You could say Marino revolutionized the way we play quarterback.
Ditka
revolutionized the way tight ends play.
Ditka's the first NFL tight end in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Ditka, Bears 98, Giants -2. How do you get to negative? Ditka find a way. Yes. And the last thing I do want to say, field hockey is on and popping in the collegiate ranks. Number 4, Boston College will travel to Charlottesville and take on number 3, UVA on Friday night. UVA coming off some key wins against the Big Ten. I know one of them was Ohio State, who's highly ranked, and I forget the other team that they beat. Might have been Rutgers. You can't quote me on that. they were ranked, but not as high as the Ohio State win is really like the key big win. So that's a big matchup there, nationally and ACC wise for field hockey. Anything else before we move on and wrap this debacle up?
No, I'm good.
You're gonna play a buzz. You're gonna buzz me the second I start trying to talk. I didn't say anything about Virginia Tech. So sorry. Something about what Virginia Tech is what I was talking about. Fine, we'll just. That time I didn't say Virginia Tech. Why are you booing me?
It was so funny.
The one at the end.
Now that's good radio.
Play it again. Virginia Tech. That last one. It's so good. So that's going to do it for us here at What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. Remember, follow us on all of our socials on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio, and all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. For the boy, Stephen Vesci, I am the coach, Nick Vesci. Don't forget to be decent to each other. Have a good one, and we will see you next time. Take care, Guatemala.